With just under a week left in the regular season, the Western Conference is absolutely on fire right now, with any team between 3 and 8 having the possibility to end up anywhere between now and the end of the season. One of those teams being the Minnesota Timberwolves, who recently faced off against the Milwaukee Bucks in Milwaukee. Donte DiVincenzo hits a three-pointer here to extend that lead to the biggest margin of the game at 24, and Minnesota is in a zone here. They run pick and roll with KPJ and Giannis to try to force the Gobert switch. Nikhil does a really good job fighting over, and so now it's just up to the Bucks to force a reaction from the defense. Gary Trent Jr. cuts and then fades to the corner as KPJ is posting up. This brings Donte DiVincenzo to the ball. Mike Conley is forced to take AJ Green, and Nikhil has a late closeout on Gary Trent Jr. and actually fouls him on a three-pointer. The Bucks started going to a zone a lot more in the fourth quarter. They would usually have Bobby Portis in the middle, Giannis in help position. This time, Naz Reid is in the middle of the zone. He lobs a pass into Gobert, who has the mismatch of AJ Green. Giannis and Bobby Portis quickly collapse on him, which gives Bobby Portis just enough time to be able to strip the ball away. KPJ comes down, rejects the screen from Bobby Portis this time. The T-Wolves are pretty much all staying home except for Mike Conley. I believe what Mike Conley is trying to go for here is to force KPJ to give the ball up, so it forces a pass to the corner to Gary Trent Jr. again, to which Nikhil would take that matchup, and it would force a pass to Giannis on the three-point line, which you would rather him be taking a three-pointer than Gary Trent Jr.
Porter Jr. spins with the flush!
Instead, KPJ just goes right over the top of Donte DiVincenzo, and believe me, this is not the last time that you are going to see Kevin Porter Jr., not even close. The Bucks are in the zone again. This time Giannis is actually matched up with Gobert, and Naz is actually countering the zone this time by spacing out to the wing instead of playing in the middle as a playmaker. Bobby Portis is way out of position to be able to get back here, but the Bucks just get lucky. Naz misses that. Nothing really to break down here. Gobert is content to give Giannis this jump shot. They're loading up on Giannis here. Nikhil to his left, Naz to his right, Gobert directly in front of him, but they're giving him the space to step back and shoot this midi, which is actually not a good decision because Giannis has really improved as a mid-range shooter. He's one of the best mid-range shooters by percentage in the league this season, and so that's just too easy for him. So here we go. The Bucks are zoning up again, and it seems like their game plan is to make anybody else the playmaker in the situation other than Mike Conley or Donte DiVincenzo. Naz is in the middle of the zone again. They get the pass to the wing. The Bucks zone up on Nikhil, and that's a drop-off pass to Naz Reid again, but it's a quick shot and he misses it. He probably rushed it. So now Giannis is just backing down, and you can see the attention that he's drawing right here. Nobody really wants to help here because everybody on the floor can shoot. You're really just playing the numbers at this point, deciding on which shooter you would rather take this shot. Donte hard commits to this because I believe that he thought that it was going to be a double team situation to be able to force the ball out of his hands.
The way they're making shots, that's
but Giannis is just still Giannis. So here we go again, back in the zone. Naz back in the middle of the zone, free throw line extended, and once again it seems like the Bucks plan is just to make anybody else beat you. Nikhil drives on Giannis. He sees the help from Bobby Portis coming over, but that's just a bad pass and another turnover. So sideline out of bounds. This is just a routine off-ball screen that Jaden McDaniels gets a little bit lost on. He's still able to get back into the play to force the miss, and that's just tough luck from KPJ. So here Ant's back in the game, and so Ant, Julius Randle pick and roll, they switch it. Bobby Portis is standing below the three-point line, which against Ant this season in particular, you don't really just want to live with that because he can hit this shot, but that time he misses. So Julius Randle guarded by Bobby Portis. He asked for a Naz Reid screen. Now Giannis has switched onto him. DiVincenzo is going to come off of this pick. Kevin Porter Jr. actually does a really good job of fighting over it. I believe that that's what they wanted, was the Bobby Portis switch onto DiVincenzo, but that just ends up in a missed three. So now Naz Reid is off the floor. Gobert back on. Gary Trent Jr. back to Giannis. Pick and roll with Gobert. Gobert is in drop because it's Giannis.
Now back to Giannis. There's a three-point look, an open look, and drills it. A big three.
That's Giannis for his 13th make of the season from 3. So just like that, the lead is cut from 24 to 11 in 3 minutes. Giannis tells Gary Trent to stay wing here so that he can drop back to Gobert because Giannis on Gobert is a better matchup than Bobby Portis on Gobert. The T-Wolves get the ball to DiVincenzo. Bobby Portis helps on that. They just do a really good job of knocking this ball away because this pass was going to be open to Anthony Edwards on the wing. Fast break situation, and that's just...
The Bucks are pushing. AJ Green from deep. Oh, you bet!
So out of the timeout, pick and roll, Julius Randle, Anthony Edwards. This time Julius slips the screen. He has KPJ on the mismatch here, but Giannis is helping for any potential drive baseline. So Julius instead goes left, and Jaden McDaniels decided to cut here because I believe he thought that Bobby Portis was going to help harder on the Julius Randle drive. He doesn't, and now he is in great position to be able to get a hand up on the shot as the shot clock is running down. Rudy Gobert is now on an island with KPJ. Jaden McDaniels reaches in, gets called for a foul. 2 free throws later, it is now a 6-point game just 4 minutes after being down 24. So Mike Conley out top, they're zoning up again. Bobby Portis is in drop because it's Rudy Gobert. KPJ actually gets caught on the Rudy Gobert screen here, but because this floor is actually spaced so badly, there's no advantage created because Gary Trent Jr. is now just right here because Julius Randle didn't slide over all the way. So this is honestly just bad spacing by the Timberwolves, and it's just a bad shot by Julius Randle. So Giannis on Ant backing down. This forces a slight reaction from Rudy Gobert, who actually does get a decent contest up, but that's just Bobby Portis now. So here's the zone again. Mike Conley is actually pointing to, I believe, Jaden McDaniels, telling Ant to get the ball to the middle of the zone. KPJ immediately jumps on that, so now this is a dangerous entry pass to throw. So they instead transition to a pick and roll. There's no separation created, and he's actually able to poke the ball away here. Even though this is still out of bounds off of Gary Trent Jr. because he was standing out of bounds when he touched the ball, he has now forced the T-Wolves into the backcourt with less than 4 seconds on the shot clock. And the Bucks have every pass in the front court covered pretty well, so it's just forced into Ant in the backcourt. He has to take a 40-footer. So KPJ, primary ball handler this play, uses the Bobby Portis screen to bring Rudy Gobert out of the paint. KPJ is a pretty quick player. He is able to get by Jaden McDaniels pretty easily here. There's no backline to help because Rudy Gobert is now out of the paint. Jaden is late, and that's a goaltend. Bobby Portis comes to the middle. AJ Green is actually helping on Rudy Gobert to prevent this entry pass from happening, even though Giannis is already here. When Giannis has better positioning, AJ Green recovers back out to Mike Conley to take that pass away also. And this is just the good old-fashioned head fake draw foul. He hits both free throws, and that is actually Minnesota's first points since that Dante DiVincenzo 3 at the 10-minute mark. They're getting Rudy Gobert involved in actions again. Giannis, the primary ball handler this time. Bobby slips the screen. 2 on Giannis. Bobby Portis wide open. Ant doesn't pick him up. He stunts at him because he does not want to leave Gary Trent Jr. And that's just a missed shot from Bobby Portis. So it actually takes Minnesota a long time to actually set up their offense here. We're down to 11. We're down to 10 on the shot clock, and nothing has even happened yet. I didn't skip anything. There's literally just Mike Conley dribbling the ball up the floor, passing the ball to Ant. Ant passes back, and now we're here. Mike Conley directs traffic. Ant is actually, I believe, calling for a screen from Julius Randle, but he doesn't see it. He just tries to go on his own. Bobby Portis is helping, and so now his driving lane is completely taken away. He's just settling for a step back 3 here, and that misses. Mike Conley, the offensive rebound. The Bucks are in rotation, and Julius Randle just tries to go at Giannis at the rim, and KPJ just makes a great play on this pass. KPJ to AJ Green, head fake because he had just made that crazy 3 a couple minutes ago, and that's a great look for AJ Green. That just misses too. So the T-Wolves are dodging some bullets here. Fast break situation, and KPJ just reaches in and fouls. So zone again. Every time Ant gets the ball, they're doing whatever they can to force it out of his hands. Mike Conley is nowhere near the basket. He is not a threat out here. Julius again comes to the middle of the zone, but this is something that they've been going to all quarter. So KPJ is just able to jump on this pass, and that's another great play by KPJ. Fast break situation, great pass by Giannis. So now a cross match has happened between Rudy Gobert and KPJ. They're grappling, they're holding each other. Oh my goodness. Double foul on KPJ and Gobert, double technical foul on KPJ and Gobert, and technical foul on Gary Trent Jr. Those double fouls and techs offset, and Minnesota gets 1 free throw. 1 point lead with 3 minutes left. Gobert actually gets subbed out after this timeout. Zone again. This is some sort of set by the looks of it. Ant just tries to split the middle, and he ends up running into Naz Reid. He loses the ball. KPJ is ahead of the play, and the Milwaukee Bucks lead the game after trailing by 24 in the fourth quarter. KPJ is really engaged now. They're trying to get the ball back up to Ant. KPJ immediately recognizes, he jumps on the pass, gets another steal and another fast break finish. 3-point lead, 30-3 run. So Minnesota looks to be running the same set that they had just ran on the Ant turnover. He splits the middle successfully this time. There's nothing there, so he backs back out. McDaniels cuts, but this is stopped by Bobby Portis, so that's not there. KPJ helps on this. Gary Trent Jr. jumps out on the Mike Conley shot. AJ Green jumps out on Ant, and he's actually able to tip the pass out of bounds. So now 8 seconds on the shot clock. Mike Conley tries to pick and roll with Naz Reid. Gary Trent Jr. again does a really good job of fighting over. That's just a pick and fade for Naz Reid, but there's no time for him to work with, so he is just forced to shoot this over Bobby Portis's head, and that is another missed shot and a Giannis rebound, since the only big in Naz Reid, or the tallest player, I should say, is now completely taken out of the paint. So since Dante was down there battling for the rebound with Giannis, he is now behind the play. Dante has no chance of catching back up. He fouls, and that's 2 more free throws for Kevin Porter Jr. He makes both. It is a 5-point game with 2 minutes to go. So Mike Conley, Naz Reid, Naz is going to roll on this. Bobby Portis is going to plug the middle to take that away. They're zoning up on Ant again to force the ball out of his hands. Gary Trent Jr. gets a hand on this pass. Naz goes to the foul line again. Dante just tries to force a pass in, and that's Kevin Porter Jr. again, and nearly steals this ball. But since he went for that, that creates an even bigger advantage than the one they already had on the fast break. Basically 4-on-2 situation here.
KPJ, Kevin Porter Jr. to Giannis.
And my fellow basketball fans, that is a 34-3 run in 8.5 minutes. Coming out of the timeout, the Bucks are in their zone again. They're forcing anybody but Ant to beat them. Little handoff between Dante and Julius Randle. And that is Minnesota's first field goal in 8 minutes and 32 seconds. So what the Bucks are trying to do here, and really just what they've been trying to do this entire quarter, is take the tallest player away from the rim. Giannis is the ball handler in this inverted pick and roll, forces help because he's Giannis driving down the middle of the lane. Gary Trent Jr. has a great look at a 3. He just can't hit it, but Giannis is right there, simply because he just had the better positioning with Naz Reid being behind the play now. Ant dribbling the ball up. They force the ball out of his hands again. They almost actually picked the pass off again. Dante drives. Bobby Portis helps, and that's Bobby Portis' interior defense. There's nothing that you can really do about that. So back to 4. Bobby Portis now has position on Naz Reid, and so there's a back down. I believe that Dante thought that he was going to spin back left here, so he's in help position. And do I even need to say it? Look who it is. Now Giannis has the DiVincenzo cross match. Julius Randle comes over to help. Giannis steps back. The T-Wolves don't really have numbers here, but they know they have to go quick. KPJ was helping on the potential Julius Randle drive, but Dante DiVincenzo just misses that shot. They come down, T-Wolves foul, both free throws are made, and now they pretty much just have one more chance. KPJ is picking up Ant full court. They're not really zoning up on him anymore. Bobby Portis helps off the corner though to help on this drive. Ant does make the right read, but
Forcing the turnover.
and now that's game. Again, this was a testament to how volatile leads in the NBA actually are, but it is also a testament to the potential problems that the Minnesota Timberwolves could be facing in the play-in and potentially beyond. Not only just their execution against the zone, but execution late game in general, which is something that we saw a lot of in their double overtime game against the Denver Nuggets. And it was really the same thing there too. When Ant got doubled, the T-Wolves didn't really know how to respond. And that was a problem that we saw with them pretty much all throughout the fourth quarter and the overtimes. I was watching this game with Legend of Winning, aka Low, and he was absolutely losing his mind because he couldn't understand how they were seeing the same coverage every single time and they couldn't figure it out.
Screen. No, come set the screen. Why are you passing it to him? Oh my God.
And so that would be a really big concern that I would have about this team heading into the play-in. But it is also just an incredible run by the Milwaukee Bucks, and that's really a main reason why I wanted to highlight this in particular. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think this was just a one-off thing, or do you think this is a pattern that the Timberwolves will have to address at some point or another? Let me know what you think. But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell to be notified when I upload. Comment down below what you want to see next. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.